Remember when I said I was done? I'm not. Well, if you haven't hated me yet, you're probably gonna hate me after this episode. I've done a lot of risky things during this build, and today's probably gonna be the riskiest, where if it doesn't work, I can't drive the car. But as you can tell, the ride height from the wheel gap is a little too high for where I want it right now. Right now I believe there's about 2 inches of space. Let me just check it out. Yeah. It's about 2.5 inches from lip of the rim to the flare. So I'm gonna cut a coil out of my spring. I shouldn't do it. Again, I'm not running coilovers. It's risky, it might be bouncy, whatever, but I don't know, I got 2 inches of play. I'm just gonna cut one coil out, and I'll just explain while I'm doing it. Just hold on with the hate, just hold on. All right, so first things first, we're gonna have to take off these 2 bolts like we did in the front when we installed the camber bolt. And you just gotta look and see what's connected to the strut suspension or whatever. So we have this, I guess it's a tie rod or whatever, connected there. It looks like there's an Allen key. So insert an Allen key right there to take that off with the nut. And then you have the brake line, which I do know that, like, well, this was previously cut. Originally, this is all like bolted together with the strut, and you would have to cut the bracket to slide this off, and it was done before. I don't know if the whole strut was replaced or if they had coilovers on before, but we'll just have to wiggle that out. If I have to separate it more and it creates that metal gets weaker, then I'll just figure something out. Probably with zip ties, but either way, it's gonna get put back on there, and yeah, that's gonna be the tedious part. Just gotta be careful with the brake line. But yeah, let's get going. Okay, so I got 2 bolts out, nut off of that bolt up here. Now I have to try to remove this without destroying the brake line, because we need that. So it looked like it was all already previously cut, so I'm gonna see if I can just bend the back part of this out. You probably can't even see that, and wiggle this out. I have the floor jack underneath to keep this up so this doesn't drop. If it were to drop, the brake line will probably rip out, because again, there's nothing holding it up to the strut. Hopefully I can get this out without damaging it. So real quick, I got the 2 bolts off of here, took the brake line off. Probably gonna zip tie this back so it doesn't get caught on the strut, and took this nut off. I guess that's a tie rod control arm. I don't really know what the hell I'm talking about again. So yeah, I don't want to give away false information, but I took it apart so I could take the strut out. Now I'm gonna put the camera over here. I have to take off these 2 nuts. There's one behind here that's holding this top of the strut in, but I have to take off this I guess air intake. There's a nut here and a nut here, and I'm hoping it comes off after that. Then I can reach behind here and take the remaining nut out. So real quick, BC Racing, if by chance, 1 in a million chance you're watching this, if you could sponsor me, that'd be great, so I can get coilovers so I wouldn't have to be doing this stupid. I just took the nuts off, and now I'm gonna see if, sorry I'm wearing this chest piece deal, just so you can get a better angle. I don't feel like taking it on and off when I'm working down here. But yeah, we're gonna see if we slide this off. Yellow cord, and I ripped shit the f out. As you can see, this is the spring I took out. Now my thought here is, since the top spring is laying on top of the other one, it's basically 2 springs laying on top of each other, I'm just gonna cut straight down right here, so it'll still be laying on a flat, surface. A lot of times you have like a pigtail like down here. If you were to cut a coil out, you essentially will be cutting right here, and since it's a spiral effect going down,
it won't be sitting flat with the bottom of the top hat, bottom hat, whatever you want to call that. So, I mean, essentially you always, if you do cut coils, you know that you have to cut it from the top anyways. It's not as flat as I thought, but it. I really should run out to the parts store. I kind of forgot something that you would need when you do this. You run a tool that compresses the spring, so that way when you take this nut off to take the spring out, it doesn't want to shoot out. And a lot of problems can happen when that shoots out. One, you get hurt obviously and like strip the thread. So yeah, I'm just gonna put a clamp on it, and hopefully that holds enough, because I'm not gonna run right out right now. I'm trying to get all this done in the next 3 hours before I go to work. So let's see if this works. Clamp's not gonna work, so I'm just gonna aim it out the door and hope for the best. Well, good news, I didn't blow my arm off. Bad news is I didn't take it off yet, so I gotta go to freaking AutoZone and get the clamp I need to compress the spring. I don't know if I explained this already, but the reason why I had this aimed outside the door is because this is so compressed, it's putting so much pressure on this to shoot out. And I couldn't get it off. I don't want to strip it, so I tried 3 times and it failed. So I went to Widest and rented this. Basically, it compresses the spring. It clamps onto the spring, you tighten it, and it compresses it down, and you can take it off. So I'll put that on there, take it off, and the next thing you're gonna see is something else. Into a little bit of a problem. It was hard to get the clamp in between these coils because they're a little tight, but after sticking a wrench in there and maneuvering, I got to be able to fit it in there because these two are too close together and it didn't really leave much room for me to clamp it down. But I was able to get it in here. Either way, I was able to get it in here, and now you can see that the spring, well, you probably can't see it, but the spring is loose in here now. It's like not even on the bottom of the top hat. So I should be able to take that spring, or take that bolt out now. We shall see. Sweet, that worked out. Now I'm getting pumped, because now all I gotta do is cut the spring. All right, let's get to that. Sorry if I'm rushing around, speaking kind of fast. Just trying to get this done before work. I have like 2 or 3 hours left before I gotta get to work. But anyways, my dumbass put this damn clamp on right here. Right? I wanted to cut right here on this one to line up with that one. But of course the clamp's right here. And I don't want to loosen the clamp because I'm gonna need to compress when I put it on. So I'm just gonna cut it right here. Measure the distance right here so I do it the same on the other side. And I'll just cut it right here. And I have a bucket of water here too. Now a lot of people use, well, people that, you shouldn't use a torch, so I was told. I don't have a torch. I was gonna use like a hacksaw or something like that, but I'll probably be sitting here forever trying to do that. So I am gonna use the grinder, but it's gonna create a lot of heat. Either way, it's gonna create heat. You don't wanna create heat on the coil or the spring because it weakens the integrity of the spring, I guess. So I'm just gonna cut it. It'll get hot real quick, but I'm gonna dump it in water. I don't even know if I've ever seen that being done. I just thought about it right now. I don't know if it's gonna matter. Either way, that's what I'm gonna do. So I think it's a good idea if you're gonna cut the spring, which is a bad idea, but f it. All right, so we're back at it. I installed the strut back in. It's not gonna go anywhere. The bracket is zip tied to the other bracket, and it's also pinched in the back on the metal threads, but should be good to go. I did reinstall the camber bolt to the top, just in case I need to make adjustments tomorrow. Sorry, I got the camera moving around. I'm gonna put the wheel back on and drop it and see where we're sitting. All right. Now, first, it doesn't It's probably not going to look like much just yet because it still has to settle, but it's just a little bit of a drop. We're going to compare this side. To that side. Probably can't even tell. I don't even know if you really can tell. I did cut a coil out, but I cut a coil out and it didn't do much of a drop. I don't even think it did any drop. Let's see, that's 2.5 to the lip. Let's check the other side.
Oh, look at this. You got me running all around the car.
It's 2.5. So yeah, that didn't do much. I'm still gonna do the other side to make it even. And technically it does need to settle, so I guess I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to do my tweaks. All right, passenger side rear is completed. I didn't record it honestly because I was trying to rush through. I gotta clean everything up and head to work. But yeah, we'll see where everything settles tomorrow, if it settles at all. Here's the ring 1 I cut, and ring 2. It should settle a little bit. I put the camber bolts on both sides on the top, so if I have to bring the wheel in like I did in the front a little bit, I will later. Nice bet. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up and pick up where I left off tomorrow. Again, thanks for watching. Peace out.